The second question was around investment property exit strategies, which is not something that we get a lot of questions on, but it's a valid one. They say, we have been investing in property over the years, which has been a great investment, but I'm currently at a fork in the road, whether I sell a couple of properties in the portfolio and take a step back from how hard I've been working, or whether I put my head down to set myself and my kids up for retirement. I would love to hear from you guys regarding exit strategies. I know this can be a pretty dry topic, but everyone seems to talk about the investment and no one seems to talk about the end plan. So I guess this is a lifestyle question as much as it is a property and investment question.
Yeah. So exit strategies probably means thinking about retirement. So you're probably talking someone in their 50s, 60s, maybe even older. Unfortunately, the way the world is. So, it's a tough one, right? Because they may or may not have access to super. If they've got access to super, if they want to sort of dial down their, yes, you could sell your property, but if they're good assets, when you sell, you've got to pay capital gains tax. And so this person could be selling and paying capital gains tax because they're still working. So you're going to pay higher capital gains tax. So it might be better to sell those properties after they stop working. It might be better for them to use savings or other share portfolios or money in the offset to sort of get them to that period. And then when they may want to start using their super. The challenge with selling property is it's an easy thing to do, but and you pay off the mortgage and you get this big lump sum of cash as long as it's sort of grown over many years, which I assume in this situation it has, hence why you can stop working. But there might be alternatives that they can use other cash and other financial resources without selling that property, and may sell that in retirement where there's lower capital gains tax. You may sell them over different years. But if they're quality assets, you may want to sell them last. You might the rent might be paying the mortgage. It might be paying off, might be quite positively geared, might give them an income in retirement. And then you might sell it in their 70s and 80s and use their super first. Exit strategies they're very individual. But my view on it is with property is that it's not a case of trying to buy 4 properties to sell 2 to pay off 2. So you got 2 free. You're much better off to buy a fewer number of properties, quality assets, and try to hold them to the later years in life and sell your properties basically last. Because then you pay your capital gains tax last and you keep that money invested and growing. And so, if you want to retire before super, you've got to build up a pool of money to support you, between when you stop working. A lot of people don't want to stop working as well. There's a lot of purpose that you get through doing something every day. And so, yes, people may want to stop their high pressure job, at some point and maybe work 3 or 4 days a week, but they want to do something with their time. And so what I find is that those people who are thinking about this sort of transition, they don't go from working full time, flat out to no work at all. They dial it down. And in that dial it down period, they just get enough income to support them day to day. Their needs are much lower because the kids have moved out and all that sort of stuff. And then that income can get them through to when they completely stop working in their sort of 60s, and then they can draw on their super, and then they can draw on their other assets. I think it's a bit of a myth that it's a dangerous path sort of going to, I want to work, save money, and then I'm going to retire. And not work ever again. There still is a sort of transition that I think's better for most people.
It's interesting because obviously the fire community is very passionate in Australia, which I know you know about. I actually looked into this quite a few years ago and found that there are some big red flags associated with people going from working to then not working so quickly, and things like dementia, and there are a whole heap of different studies that are linked to like social anxiety and depression that come from actually turning off the switch on work. And it makes sense. A lot of people try to replace that with like giving and social things or charity. We have a heap of resources on our website for fire and people that are interested in those types of strategies and exit strategies in that respect.